Hello and welcome to another Nimble video tutorial. So I've been tossing around this idea for a while. I didn't know if I was going to do this video today in light of the inauguration and the political climate going on. I was a little bit bummed out at some of the things I've been seeing. I don't subscribe or support censorship in any way. I think that people should be allowed to express themselves. Doesn't matter what your political beliefs are. I don't want to make this a political video. It's just that we should be able to talk. We should be able to express ourselves, agree to disagree, hear each other out, and then move forward. Just wanted to get that off my chest. I bring that up because I found a really cool, or was sent a really cool article on Medium. Maybe you want to check it out. It kind of goes to show how sometimes IT can conflict with corporate politics. I'll never be a chief technology officer again unless it's for my own company. It's a pretty decent read, and hopefully you can just kind of understand, if you are someone who's on the executive side, you can understand what it's like for IT guys who really want to design and create unique things, and the new buzzwords of minimal viable product kind of hold back your creativity at sometimes. I've often said, Nimble goes against the grain. It doesn't follow frameworks or what is, the new buzzwords that we see in technology. It's my own thing. It's my take on what software and front-end development should be. It should be faster, more accurate, and always constantly improving. I use techniques that aren't used in business. The builder design pattern is not something that people use in everyday corporate life. And that's the reason why their products look the way they do. That being said, if I've offended anybody, I hope I don't get censored. So, we'll move right along. Nimble, in all my videos, I've showed you how easy it is to build and create larger products with less effort. So today, I'm going to take the opposite approach. I'm going to build something very small and then show you how intricate and how much power you can put into a very small UI component. So I was looking at material design and figured I would imitate this chips component. Everybody's seen these little components that pop up, when you use anything that's made by Google or Chrome. So we're gonna build this component in Nimble. I have one built already, but I'm going to rebuild it for you so you can see how it's done. So this is just a simple chips component. It has a whole space placeholder for an image, the cancel button, and of course a caption. So we're going to build one right now. We first start with the div. I have my inline block on. So we're going to take this div and we're going to use it to build a new chips component. This is the outermost, basically the placeholder. Inside of it, we're going to embed an image control, a caption, and then another image control. And they're all inside this div now. We're going to highlight and grab all three components. We're going to justify the components. First thing we want to do is vertically align them to the middle. Now they're pretty much centered across the middle. We're going to select the outermost container, put a 5-pixel padding around it. And now the fun stuff begins. So for the div, we want to lock the width and height so that it will automatically size like any normal web component. So we'll lock them. We want to change the styles to round the edges. We'll use the border radius for that. We will make sure that anything within the div does not word wrap. So we'll just add white space here, no wrap. We want it to auto size. And the height to also auto size. Okay, so the outermost div is pretty much set. We're going to grab the first image, and we're going to also change the border radius. We'll probably need to lock the position. It's probably already docked. Yes, it's locked. So that's all we probably need to do with that guy. Oh, sorry. I didn't apply it. Same thing with this guy, but we want to change the size of the cancel button slightly. Let's make it 20 pixels by 20 pixels. And then set the border radius to 10. So that's pretty much all it takes. We can add some finishing touches onto this control by applying some margins on the left and right side. And if we really want it to be cool, we'll center we'll get rid of the display and center the text. Sorry about that. We have to center the caption. And we're pretty much done. So we have a nicely designed chips component created in Nimble in a matter of, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. But that wasn't what I really wanted to show you guys. Now that we have a component design, I believe that I'm going to use this pre-created one because this component, I use proper naming conventions. The core of Nimble as a UI framework is your ability to use the names of your objects to extend more power in the framework. The data processing behind the Nimble IDE is a canonical memory storage for any UI component that allows me to query and build things, helper snippets and code automatically because the data of how the component is managed is in an orderly format. That being said, we have this chips component that we're going to call chip, and that's going to represent our class name. This picture component we're going to call just image img. This is going to be called caption, and this will be called cancel. Now that we have everything named, you can see that this represents an object with an image, a caption, and a cancel button. If we right click on this new component within inside of our scratch pad and select build, we can now build the component, just this component. If you want to see the standard build of what Nimble will do when you build your app, you can get a preview of all the JavaScript code that Nimble will generate to build this component. This is an exact replica of what will go into your JavaScript. It uses a name value pair for pushing props and styles to the framework. If you want to see a compressed version or a reduced version of the same component, it is now reestablished that name value pair into JSON objects, but still pushes. Nimble will support both JSON objects as well as the name value pair array. But that's not all. The best part about this is I can use the build function. Oh, I'm sorry. to build a control instance and let it generate a factory. In this case, I have a fully functioning API object into the Nimble framework that will allow you to write this exact component as well as attach any events to it with this one class object. You don't believe me? Let's give it a test. I'm going to copy this code. We will save this dialog and test this directly inside of, I guess, this form. So we've loaded up form 5 here. I'm going to bring over my console. And the factory, we're going to do this live within the IDE. When I display this component, this is not going into the code or the editor itself. This is just going directly to the screen. I've just registered this exact factory that I created inside of the Nimble IDE. I can now declare the factory. That's called sorry about that. You declare the factory in the form that it's going to attach to, in this case form 5 that I've just created here. And now I have a working controller for the widget that I just created on the Scratchpad. We can load the widget. Let's see if we can load it. The first widget, it's called a chip because that's the class name that we gave it, and we want to display it. And there it is. We can draw as many as we want. We can attach events to all the buttons, and we have total control over creating creating custom components easily from within the IDE. I wanted to show this demo to give you an understanding that Nimble as a whole is well designed, and the framework and the foundation is so secure it enables the application to build code in itself. It's able to now, I'm able to now generate more code and have the IDE build things dynamically and connect the dots a lot quicker. The Nimble solution: custom control objects. Thank you for watching.